The Special Envoy for Women and Children, Kim Simplest-Barrow, has been a firm advocate to ending violence against women and children. Today, she presented a speech in celebration of the works against gender-based violence. Simplest-Barrow made special note of the various forms of abuse and violence experienced by women.
Violence against women and girls is not confined to a specific culture or ethnic group, region, or country, or to particular groups of women within a society. The roots of this type of violence lie in persistent discrimination against women and girls. It lies in antiquated thinking that somehow females are inferior to males rather than their equals. Indeed, violence against women and girls is pervasive and knows no boundaries. If we reflect on recent events right here in Belize, we can recall that over the past year, women have been murdered by their intimate partners, and several cases of sexual and physical violence were reported in the media. Disturbingly, the increased access and use of technology, which should be a very positive thing, has given rise to new ways of perpetrating violence, mostly against women and girls. Cyberbullying, specifically the release of nude or intimate photos of women without their permission, is a form of sexual violence. These acts are intended to attack, humiliate, shame, silence, and publicly expose women. And especially in our small society, these attacks can have real and devastating effects. Violence against women and girls in all its forms is a gross violation of human rights, and we cannot tolerate it. We can all play a role in stopping it. I hope that you will join me in taking whatever small steps you can to help to protect the rights of women and girls across this country.
Also making his voice heard in the fight against violence is the U.S. Ambassador to Belize, Carlos Moreno, who spoke on the Orange Message and the support from the embassy as well as their contribution to the 16 Days Initiative.
The United Nations Secretary General's campaign, Unite to End Violence Against Women, has proclaimed the 25th of each month as Orange Day, a day to raise awareness and take action to prevent violence against women and girls. As a bright and optimistic color, the color orange represents a future free from violence against women and girls. We at the U.S. Embassy Belmopan are answering the call this Orange Day by highlighting issues relevant to preventing and ending violence against women and girls. So, for the next 16 days, we will share with you personal stories from survivors and activists. Please join us in putting an end to the violence against women and girls.
November 25 is an important date in history as it pertains to the movement of violence against women. As far back as 1960, the date has been remembered as 3 sisters were assassinated in the Dominican Republic. Motivated by that violent act, the first meeting of the Feminist Encuentro for Latin America and the Caribbean held in Bogota, Colombia in 1981 declared November 25 as a day against violence against women. Meanwhile, in December 1999, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution proclaiming November 25 to be the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. As for the initiative 16 Days of Activism, this came about in June 1991 when the Center for Women's Global Leadership, with the participation of the first Women's Global Institute on Women, Violence and Human Rights, called for the global campaign, thus the event 16 Days of Activism Against Gender Violence. This 16-day period also highlights other significant dates, including November 29 being International Women Human Rights Defenders Day, December 1 World AIDS Day, and December 6, which marks the anniversary of the Montreal Massacre when 14 women engineering students were gunned down for being feminists, and December 10th, Human Rights Day.